Merry Christmas everyone, I'm Benedict Terry. Hope you're having a good Christmas. Wish I could say the same, but it's not like this cartoon is bad or anything. Heck, it's a really good one. Easily one of the best I've reviewed so far. It's just... boy, is it heavy. But first, let's detail how we got something like this. While many cartoons from the 30s were happy and innocent, suffice to say it was not a reflection of the real world. For Americans, happy innocent films, especially cartoons, provided an escape from the harsh reality of the Great Depression, and that was the way they liked it. There was nothing that was going to change that, and that was that. 1940 started off in a worse way than 1930, and though World War II did need to happen, the fact that it had to happen at all is pretty tragic.
America wouldn't join the war effort until 1942. Until then, anti-war sentiment was rife, and it is in this mindset that this cartoon was made. I'm of course referring to Peace on Earth.
There have been plenty of anti-war films and anti-war cartoons, but this one stands out for the fact that it was released in December 1939, 3 months after World War II was declared.
Never before or since has an anti-war film been more appropriate and more inappropriate at the same time, because let's not forget why we were fighting.
This was directed by MGM's Hugh Harman, and it's been said by many people to be the best cartoon he ever made, including Harman himself.
But today it lies in the hands of a total wimp. So, preparations? Does become clear in a minute, but I'm prepared to learn and follow with a thankful heart. Lead on, cartoon.
The film shows us what we're in for right away, with shots of ruined buildings and discarded weapons. Soon we arrive at a town full of small animals in a very Christmassy setting. The snow is falling, and the carolers are out in the streets singing the film's title song. Passing the carolers by to visit his grandchildren is an elderly squirrel.
Peace on earth. Merry Christmas.
He's voiced by Mel Blanc. Imagine that, Mel Blanc doing cartoons.
Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Grandpa, Merry Christmas, Grandpa.
Yes.
Okay, that was actually really cute. And that was actually really funny. But this was all to ease us into what's to come.
And it all starts when the baby squirrels ask,
What are men, Grandpa? Yeah, Grandpa, what are men?
There ain't no men in the world no more, sonnies.
I did say this would be dark.
As I remember the critters, they was like monsters.
With these words, the story cuts to flashback, and it is here where the short not only gets dark, it goes pitch black.
Seriously, this is how dark it gets.
Basically, Grandpa remembers humans for always fighting and finding more and more reasons to fight.
When they couldn't think of nothing else to wrangle over, the flat-footed people started a-shooting at the buck-toothed people, and the vegetarians began to fight the meat-eating people.
Anyway, to cut a long story short for my sanity, the wars just kept getting bigger and bigger, and humans kept warring themselves to death.
And then what, Grandpa?
Why, they fought and they fought and they fought until there was only 2 of them left.
Yep, just 2 left, fighting to be the last man on Earth.
Or maybe one nicked the other's sandwich. Seems pretty accurate by this film's logic.
It doesn't take long before their pointless conflict finally catches up to both of them.
What you say? That you only miss. Sorry, is that inappropriate?
And that was the end of the last man on Earth.
Well, that's grim. Okay, granted, there's no other way of getting into people's heads that war is bad, but hang on. I think I can go back up.
Needless to say, the nightmare portion of this review is over, so let's continue. So after the rather literal end of the world, we see the animals emerging from the woods, knowing it's now safe. They gather in the ruins of a church that managed to preserve a Bible. Oh Christ! Literally. That's right, this is a Christian cartoon. Now, I really am not in this short's target demographic at all, since I haven't been a Christian since God knows when, but I'm game. It is Christmas after all.
The good book is open on Guess What? And a young Grandpa Squirrel asks a wise old owl what it says.
Mr. Owl says, "Thou shalt not kill."
That's actually quite thought-provoking.
Because of the magic of the Hays Code, all the animals are inspired by the Bible and immediately start to rebuild from the wastes. They also start to wear clothes since they...
Put some trousers on, boy! You're a Christian now, so at least look the part!
And we fade back to the present. Grandpa puts the kids back to bed.
Well, they're stronger than I am. I'd have had nightmares for weeks.
And they all live happily ever after. Except all the men who are probably burning in hell.
While this cartoon isn't quite my cup of tea, it gets my immediate seal of approval, quite simply because it proves something that those of us in the cartoon community have been trying to say for a very long time: animation can be taken seriously when it wants to.
And that is something this cartoon can walk away with proudly. In an era of nothing but easily digestible fluff, this took a very bold risk and it is a masterpiece because of it. The tone of each scene works perfectly and the animation is beautiful and beautifully dark. Even with its awkward release date and religious undertones, it holds up incredibly well and still resonates to this day. Your tolerance for this will depend on your tolerance for dark content, but its place in animation history is very well deserved. And if you know someone who still thinks animation is for children only, then show them this. If this doesn't change their mind, I don't know what will.
It's just, like I said, very, very harrowing. But if this is what's needed to get people to take animation seriously, then I'm all for it. My name is Benedict Terry. I may not know much about art, but I know what I like. I'm gonna need a lot of Care Bears after that one.
And we will all go together when we go. What a comforting fact that is to know. Universal bereavement, an inspiring achievement. Yes, we all will go together when we go. We will all go together when we go. All suffused with an incandescent glow. No one will have the endurance to collect on his insurance.